about this moment we are experiencing. Ignored, made fun of, and shunned for my ideas, and, well, here we are. The injectable biochip is here, and just about ready for FDA approval. As I've stated in many of my videos post-March 2020, the COVID scamdemic has been all about the Agenda 21 digital grid surveillance system as part of the Great Reset, our initiation into the fourth industrial revolution, taking us from the third industrial revolution of computer technology into the fourth industrial revolution of intelligent technology and biological transhumanism. In Klaus Schwab's work, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, a transhumanist how-to guide and technopolic blueprint, he focuses heavily on two important concepts of the future: nanotechnology and biotechnology. He discusses significantly the purpose of digital wearables and the fusing of human biology with the web, the merging of mankind and the Internet of Things. It has been my contention that this social engineering operation called COVID-19 is specifically part of and catalyst for this great socio-economic reset that is required for the fourth industrial revolution to begin under the methods and regulations of Agenda 21 2030. Of course, by way of Technopoly's headquarters, Silicon Valley, the company Profusa has been nearing its finalization of the very technology that will merge mankind with the Internet of Things. Just like Schwab describes in his book, Profusa, which describes the profuse or giving freely in large amount, often in excess or abundance, seems rather fitting for a global vaccine, I might add. Profusa is funded and supported by the state military-industrial complex agency, DARPA, the futurists and totalitarians' bulldog of technocracy, or muscle of Technopoly. What's interesting to know is that DARPA actually funded Profusa and this biochip-specific project in August of 2019, roughly 6 months before the fake pandemic hit American shores, and precisely 2 months before the live COVID exercise event 201 in October. Fascinating. Let's see how Profusa aims to assist the Great Reset in its global operation for full spectrum dominance under the guise of infection detection technology, where human beings are no longer God-created individuals of free will, but numerical units given social credit by way of their infection status and bioscore.
And let's recreate a global framework which really is in line with the requirements of a society in the 21st century.
Welcome to the 21st century. Hydrogel chip will connect you to the internet. Hydrogel is a DARPA invention that includes nanotechnology and nanobots. This bioelectronic interface is a part of the COVID-19 mRNA vaccines supply system. The biochip being developed by Profusa is just like the proposed COVID-19 mRNA vaccines in that it makes use of hydrogel. The implant is the scale of a grain of rice and connects to an internet database that can maintain observed modifications in your biochemistry and a big selection of biometrics comparable to coronary, heart, and respiratory price and way more. Nanotechnology may theoretically be used to make mind control programs, invisible and cellular eavesdropping gadgets, or unimaginably horrific instruments of torture. May help enhance monitoring for peripheral artery illness. However, whereas it may be handy, this type of expertise may even have speedy ramifications for our privateness. Who will acquire and have entry to all this information? Who will likely be chargeable for defending it? How will it be used and when? Let's go straight to the horse's mouth and see what Profusa has to say about this. Clearly in these images here, what we see is the propaganda used to promote this type of science. First, we see the military aspect here, where this will be used on soldiers. And of course, it will be used to monitor their health and make sure that they are properly guided and protected out on the field. And of course, they tie in the elderly component, making sure we can properly manage and monitor your health. And then we have the athlete involved. Profusa partners announce initiation of study to measure early signs of influenza through biosensor technology. So that's what this is, biosensor technology, under the guise of treating healthcare issues. Of course, they're trying to start this off with early signs of influenza, which is a respiratory infection. Kind of reminds you of something called COVID, does it not? COVID just perfectly prepares and presents an opportunity to use this type of technology. But what's more interesting about this technology is it's going to be used for much, much more than influenza detection. Let's see, injectable body sensors take personal chemistry to a cell phone closer to reality. Injectable body sensors, huh? Here it is. This is directly from their site. There's all the information you need to see. Of course. Let's continue here. Are populations being primed for nano microchips inside vaccines? This is a pretty old article here, far before COVID was a thing. In 2005, the World Health Organization developed international health regulations that would bind all 194 member countries to pandemic emergency guidelines, which could enforce such a mandate. Without these procedures of public health and propagandized vaccine campaigns in place, there would be little or no voluntary cooperation from the public to roll up their sleeves and accept the inoculations. Public participation is an essential tool that will soon allow Big Pharma to inject the most effective surveillance tool ever designed into billions of people. Although nanotechnology manufacturing is currently available on a global scale, before biotech companies are able to initiate mass production and testing of nanomicrochips inside of vaccines, they will likely sell the idea to the public through various health enhancement scenarios. They will encourage participation and publicly announce regulatory approval from the same policies and regulatory agencies they helped create.
Hey folks, and welcome to another video from A Plain Truth. I want to get into these COVID immunity passes. Remember, COVID stands for Certificate of Vaccine Identification, right? Identification, digital, mark of the beast. Here we go. All right, so this is the COVID pass, they're calling it, the COVID pass. Let's get a COVID pass. Digital Health Passport. As a secure digital health passport, displays a certified COVID-19 test results that the user's health and immune response using a secure biometric gateway, allowing individuals to, they're allowing us to return to work and life safely. We can return to life, folks. Just get the COVID pass. We can return to life. They're going to let us return to life. Biometrically accessed on a mobile phone or held on a key fob, what's a key fob, or RFID chip, provides a unique authenticated gateway for government health services business to ensure a safe work environment, because they really, really care about you and me. So this is from the National Institute of Health, National Laboratory of Medicine, National Institutes of Health, or yada yada, grand poobah, font of all knowledge and information, immunity passports and vaccination certificates, scientific, equitable, and legal challenges. Many governments are looking for paths out of restrictive physical distancing measures imposed to control the spread of severe acute respiratory syndrome of coronavirus. Bullshit! With a potential vaccine against coronavirus disease. One proposal government suggested, including Chile, Germany, Italy, the UK, and the USA, is the use of immunity passports, digital or physical documents that certified, an individual has been infected and purportedly immune. Bullshit. Individuals in possession of immunity passport could be exempt from physical restrictions and could return to work, school, and daily life. But if you do not get an immunity passport, you cannot return to work, you cannot go to school, and you cannot have a daily life, because we say so. However, immunity passports pose considerable scientific, practical, equitable, and legal challenges as long as fraud, coercion, and deception. So immunity passports would impose an artificial restriction on who can and cannot participate in social, civic, and economic activities your bank account, and might create a perverse incentive for individuals to seek out infection, especially people who are unable to afford a period of workforce exclusion, compounding existing gender, race, ethnicity, and nationality inequities. Like, they really care about the genders and the races and the national inequities. They really care. Such behavior would pose a health risk not only to those individuals, but those people that come into contact with. In countries without universal access to health care, the United States, those most incentivized risk to seek out infection might also those be unable or understandably hesitant to seek medical care due to cost and discriminatory access. Like all such privileges administered by a government, immunity passports would be ripe for both corruption and implicit bias. Existing socioeconomic, racial, ethnic inequities might be reflected in the administration of such certification governing who can access antibody testing. By replicating existing inequities, use of immunity passports would exacerbate the harm inflicted by an already vulnerable population. Isn't it interesting? Immunity passports, and they're breaking our immune system, our natural God-given immune systems, to artificially put in artificial immunity systems in us, and then they're giving passports for our artificial immunities that they created. Given current uncertainties about the accuracy and interpretation of individual serology testing, immunity passports are unlikely to satisfy this health rationale evidentiary burden. Doesn't mean it's not going to happen. So in the new vax they're putting in is the Bill Gates who wants to inoculate 7 billion people. And it's also Bill Gates from hell, who at the TED Talks, I think back in 2012, said, quote, if we do a really, really, really good job with the vaccinations, we could possibly reduce the population by 10 to 15%. And here is Bill Gates offering to vaccinate 7